Hi everyone, Callista here with Avalili Permaculture and the Earth Skills Institute. I'm doing another plant ID video today. This is a winter plant ID. I know it doesn't look very wintry where I am, there's no snow, but it is still February here. So the plant that I'm going to be talking about today is this bush behind me here. This is Canada Buffaloberry or Soapberry. The scientific name is Shepherdea canadensis. I'm not sure of the Tanaha name for it, I'm going to have to learn that. But that's the territory I'm in right now, is Tanaha territory. And this bush here has a lot of cultural meaning and value for most Indigenous folks in Canada. In the late summer, it gets these really bright, translucent red berries, and those berries are very high in saponin, hence the name soapberry. When you collect those and you mash them up and whip them, it makes a really frothy juice, and that juice is known as Indian ice cream. When you whip it like that, is kind of an old name for it. And lots of First Nations cultures use these berries in ceremony or just as part of a traditional diet. And they're very bitter tasting, but they do taste a little better if you mix them with some other things. So they're often mixed with different fats or tallows like bear grease or other berries, and made into this like frothy kind of a dish. And so I'll go over some of the identifying characteristics here so you can learn what they look like in the winter time. Okay, I'm starting from back here so you get an overall look at what this bush looks like. It is a shrub, a medium-sized shrub. This guy right here. We'll get a little closer. This shrub has opposite branching and leaf arrangement. Sometimes it doesn't look obviously opposite. Things get broken and things grow in funny ways, but typically when we look at a twig, let's look at this one right here. The little branches come off in opposite pairs, so there's two that will come off at the same location on the branch or the node. See, like this, and the leaves will be arranged the same way. There'll be two leaves that come off every one of these little spots, so you can see that. That's called opposite branching right here. Another identifying feature here is these kind of rusty scales. It's a little bit tricky to see, but you can see that the branches and the buds are kind of scaly, and it's sort of this like rusty colored scale that's on here, and that's a really key identifying feature. If you feel it, it's kind of a little bit rough. So that's a really key identifying feature for this bush. Otherwise, the main sort of branches and stems are kind of a grayish color, and those little rusty colored scales are much more obvious on the buds and like the newer growth. Sometimes the older branches, you know, they get covered with lichens and stuff, and it's not as easy to see. So you really want to be looking at these ends here to see that rusty scale-like identification feature. And you can see these buds are kind of like oval shaped. They're oblong, and they're compressed on one side, so they're a little bit flatter one way than the other. Those are going to pop out into leaves in the spring, and there'll be two leaves that pop out of that bud right there. Okay, so those are some of the key identifying features for winter time. In the summer and the spring, it's going to look different when it has leaves on it. The leaves are kind of an oblong shape. They sort of look like a dusty green on top and more of a silvery green on the bottom. And those orange scales are much more pronounced on the bottom of the leaves, but they'll still be there too. They just look like little kind of rusty colored spots all over the leaf. And yeah, so that's what they look like in the winter time. And I'll do one in the summer. It's really important to get out there and learn what things look like in different seasons throughout the year, and learn how to identify things not just in the growing season or the harvesting season when you're looking for things to pick and collect and harvest, because then you can start to create a bit of a mental map of where things are so that you know where to come back to when they are in season to harvest them. So that's it for Soapberry, Canada Buffaloberry. And If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up or a heart, and give us a subscribe or follow. Feel free to post some suggestions for other plants you'd like to learn more about in the comments, and I will do my best to try to make a video on that one for you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.